Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to redo the analysing of the SWF roster and that is in TEW 2020. The main reason was the audio in the original was, so I apologise for that. I have since got a better microphone. I am still waiting for a super duper one, as we'll call it, but for now this one is working better. So let's get into it. We've got a lot to get through and let's jump right in. So the first thing, as with all the other videos, the best thing to do first is to have a look at the product. So for SWF, they're a sports entertainment company. They work within the classic sports entertainment field. Their match focus is 3-ring circus. So if you hover over to this question mark here, that'll bring up the help guide, or the handbook as it's called, and we want to have a look at match focus. So 3-ring circus means the rating is calculated as being an average of the main event plus 2 of the highest rated other matches. If there are less than 3 matches, then the average of the remaining matches is used. So basically we need to have we want to aim for having 3 strong matches on the show that are at least around the 81 mark, because our TV company, CANN, would like us to get a minimum rating of 81. This also goes hand in hand with the angle focus, because both of them combined will give us our final show rating. So let's go and have a look at our angle focus is regular. So match focus, we'll go to angle focus now. The regular focus, the rating is calculated at 70% of the highest rated angle and 20% of the second highest and 10% of the third highest rated angle. If there aren't enough angles to this, then the highest rated angles percentage is increased to make up the difference. So again, we want one really super strong angle, and then the 2 behind that will hopefully, if we can get them over 81 and have at least 3 matches around the 81 mark, we won't get penalised from the TV company. So what other things should we look at? Again, you can untick this spinal impact moves are not allowed. It will give you a few extra points on your matches, but it can be seen as a more dangerous match structure and you could get more injuries. So I'm going to leave it ticked. Again, that's up to you on your save what you want to do. We need, for TV, we need to have 65% matches to 35% angles, around about that. You always check the booking analysis before you run the show, just to make sure you're in around those parameters. I think it gives you some leeway. I don't know what exactly it is. It might be like 5% either way. Fans will expect events to be 80% matches and 20% angles. The first show we're going to book is a TV show, so it was 65%. Fans will be upset by dangerous, controversial or bloody matches, so we'll try not to book any of those. Matches less than 15 minutes will not be able to achieve world-class scores. Well, we want at least 3 matches to be considered close to world-class, or world-class if we can get that. So 3 of the matches on the shows will be 15 minutes or higher. Well, that's what I'm going to do anyway. And the other thing that you can read through the rest yourselves, but the main important one, each show will need to have at least 1 match aimed as storytelling. Now, I've said this in other videos, but that doesn't mean you have to have a storyline involved. So if we go to storylines, because that's where we're going next, so that doesn't mean a match has to have guys featured in within these storylines. It means the road agent note for storytelling. So you can pick them to have the best match possible or to work the crowd, but there's one there for storytelling. So at least one of the matches has to have that in there. Okay, storylines. This is another important thing, because if you don't get this right, you will be penalised quite heavily as well when running shows. So the main bit at the top here, it says SWF need to have 5 storylines with more than 70 heat. So let's go and check our storylines. We've got one that's over, because it'll tell you here. The storyline is considered hot. So that's 1 so far. This storyline isn't considered hot, but at 64, it's close to being there. Then our tag championship feud is currently at 58. So again, that needs to come up a lot if we want to have that as one of the ones with 70 heat. Fear the Reaper, that's got it's got our main star and one of the biggest in the United States in Rocky Golden, and the guy who's got the most momentum in our company, which is Scythe, our monster heel. So that is 2 storylines now. We've got Big Money, Big Problems and Fear the Reaper, which has got all 70 heat. Our triple threat storyline, because SWF loves a triple threat storyline, has 78. So again, that's a third one. That's over the storyline heat. So we've got 3. So as long as we don't mess those up in booking, we've got 3. And the Superstar Rising, again, these are 2 like mid-card to lower mid-card guys, if you think about the old TEW games. So with 57 heat, that's again nowhere near. So you've got 2 options. You can either use your top stars, your most over guys, and have them appear alongside these guys in angles and matches to try and boost them up. Or there is some wrestlers who aren't currently in storylines, which is a quick win that you can put together and try and get those storylines over in the next show. So that we're going to have a go at that one. We're going to add 2 more storylines. So Angry Gilmore isn't in a storyline. He's probably going to be in Time Decline. Now don't worry, you can still get a lot of use out of him. It just means that he's not going to be putting on as good of matches as he previously would, because his physical ability stats are declining. So we need to build stars for the future, and why not Hollywood Bret Star? Again, it depends how you want to book it. Bret Star's already over. He's got 70 popularity, so I'm not going to have him go over massively. I'm going to try and end the storyline level. So hopefully it doesn't shift too much popularity away from Gilmore, because my plan with Gilmore is to build him up until the biggest show, so the Supreme Challenge in July, and then he will pass most of that popularity and skill over to Spencer Spade, who will be North American champion by then. So in my head, that's where I want to get to. So injuries and all of that aside, that's where I'm hoping to go. But for now, I'm hoping that these guys can put on good matches, have some good angles, get that storyline over 70 heat, which should be quite easy. Fingers crossed. And then them to have a quite level playing field storyline for maybe 2 to 3 months, and then start to get the final win, which will equal the wins and the success and defeats, and then they can go off in their separate ways. So I'm not going to fill in the description for that. I've just explained in my head what it's going to be. I'm just going to put these 2 in a storyline, and 1 more, maybe 2 more, just to make sure. So we're going to have Crippler versus Morgan. Again, this is probably going to be another 2 to 3 month feud. Crippler's never held a World Heavyweight Championship. Joey Morgan has held one in TCW. So that is going to be the basis of the feud. The Crippler is upset. Joey Morgan's going to get a championship opportunity, or he's going to be at least considered for one, and the Crippler's going to take exception to that because he's never held a championship, and then it gives Joey Morgan something to have over him to wind up and push this storyline on. And the Crippler is going to get more vicious and more aggressive, sort of dating back to when he took out Jack Bruce, who is available if you want to to use someone as a, I don't know if you can use him as a commentator, and I've not looked at his stats, but he could be an on-screen personality you could bring in and further the storyline if you so wish. But anyway, for the purposes of this, they're going to have a competitive feud, trying to get into that championship opportunity, which Morgan will come out on top down the line, so he can get a shot at the champion at that time. So one more storyline. I'm sure they've done it to death. And that's Randy Unleashed versus ZWB. So the brother versus brother. But neither of them have a storyline. And I don't like having too many to focus on. Atom Smasher and Primus Allen are two other guys who are near the top of the card who don't have a storyline. So I could have like a four-way for the North American Championship. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So yeah, this is the number one contendership for the North American Championship. It is going to be ZWB who comes out on top. And he will go on to face Des Davids, because Des Davids is going to go over Lenny Brown. But it gives me a platform to use these guys and interact with each other in storylines. Atom Smasher's got the attribute. I can't remember. He's in pure form, so everything he does will get a boost. So it makes sense to have him in a decent storyline. There we go. So, oh yeah, Primus Allen. There we go. And the only other alteration my tag division is going to be built around the Awesomeness, who are multiple-time champions, but their goal is to be the greatest team in SWF history. And they are by far my best team. They have the attribute to boost every tag match that they're in, and they have the attribute, well, they've got 100% chemistry together, or whatever. They've got the, I can't think of the words. They're in their tag team. They've been together that long. They've built up that much experience together, so they'll get a boost for that as well. So it's worth having those guys lead the tag scene as I build up some other teams. But again, it's up to you what you want to do in your save. But this will help boost the heat of this, having those guys in there. The only other thing I need to do is have them align with each other and add BJ O'Neill, who's their manager. She can go in as a supporting role. Also, as long as sometimes she has poor chemistry with either Huey or Jefferson. If she has it with both, then she'll be dropped. But I like to have Hannah because she manages Valiant. But Rogue, I'll just have him as this despicable, horrible scoundrel. So he's going to use every advantage as he can. This storyline, in the way I want to book it, Remo is going to go on and win the SWF Championship at the February pay-per-view. I can't remember the name of it. There's Nothing to Lose off the top of my head. Because Scythe, that is when Scythe is finally going to get physical with Rocky Golden, and he'll cost him the championship. So Golden will then go on to feud with Scythe, and then he can have matches. I'm going to try and build Scythe up as much as I can. He's going to be appearing in the pre-shows, winning battle royals and winning matches with more skilled workers, in the hopes that I can build him up. Because if you book a singles match with Golden and Scythe straight off the bat, it's going to tank because none of them are good in selling. But if I can have him appear on shows in angles and in matches where he's keeping his momentum high and getting his popularity up, because his popularity will shoot up with his momentum at the highest it can be. He's white hot. So if we can get him as over as possible and keep Rocky Golden strong, get him over as most over as possible when they have that pay-per-view match. They're still going to get done for selling because both of them are well under 70. Then that hit that they take, it's not going to be as bad, and they won't be in the main event then anyway because Remo will be the champion, so he will be the main man at that time. That should go on for about 4 or 5 months. I'm thinking of having Greed, because Greed's if he's in time decline, I'm going to ask him, talk to him and see if he'll become a manager, and he'll become the manager of, or the mouthpiece of Scythe, and maybe they'll build some kind of stable. So Golden's got people to go through to get to the man at the top there, and then Morgan will face off with Remo for a couple of pay-per-views to try and get that championship, and then we can go full blown on the Remo versus Golden build up until the final show of the year, well, the season finale, the Supreme Challenge, where Golden will probably get his championship back from Remo, and the plan is to have Scythe and Valiant there, and Valiant possibly he will come out on top in that feud. So again, it's not looking good for Scythe. He's probably going to lose in the end to Golden, and then Valiant. But the plan is for Valiant Rogue to constantly be badgering Valiant for the whole time, and he eventually just snaps and turns, and he takes out Golden. Maybe he's on the first show after, and then that's the feud to build up Golden and Valiant. It's just an idea, but anyway. So just to summarise, because I've gone off on a tangent there, we want to get 5 storylines over 70 heat. So again, if you want to use the original storylines that are in there, you're going to have to put your top stars in angles and in matches, so 6-man tags or tag team matches with top stars in with, say, Spencer Spade and Jungle Lord facing off in a 6-man tag with Joey Morgan and the Crippler and Angry Gilmore and Bret Starr, or something like that, or Des Davids and Lenny Brown with Rocky Golden and Rogue or something, depending on what your first pay-per-view main event will be. Mine is going to be Golden, Starr and Gilmore in a triple threat. That gives me the opportunity, because Eric Eisen is going to be an authority figure for me, so he is going to put Golden in triple threat matches building up to that to get him ready. But really, he's got an evil plan which is going to build for over a year, which I'll get to eventually, I'm sure. I am going to start doing diaries and whatnot soon, but I want to get a few more of these how to book ones out and redo some of the old ones where the sort of vocals were poor because of the mic I had at the time. But anyway, so other things you can look at, so tag teams. So the tag division is pretty weak. Again, if you want to use the ones that are already there, that's fine. I don't tend to use Faith and Masked Patriot, so I'll just put them as active individuals and save. Fame and Money, they're individuals. I have them as a unit for now, but eventually I will split them. I prefer Huntington. I think he's going to be held back a bit by Trescard for now anyway. Again, these are going to be a unit. Both of them have good potential. He's High Flying Hawaiian has 93 star quality, so he could be pushed to the top depending on his destiny role. He's got a good chance of having a good one. Akuma is well built up. I think he's got something in the low 80s for star quality, so he could be good as well. But for now, I want to build them up as a top tag team. So that'll be the feud that carries the year. It'll be on and off. The Awesomeness and Hawaiian Crush. They're going to be a unit. I've got no plans to split them up yet. They've got 2 SWF tag reigns between them, but they're pretty much their goal is to be the greatest of all time. So they want long reigns. So maybe it's another year or 2, and then we'll maybe split them up if they show good. See if they improve a lot, so I can get them into that main event scene. Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to keep them as a unit for now. And the Peyton Lions, they're just going to be a permanent unit to put over younger guys. So teams that I add in, I always put Justin Sensitive and Robbie Wright together, because both of them, Robbie Wright's got fantastic charisma and mic skills. The only thing is his overness is pretty low. So Justin Sensitive, I don't really like the lackey gimmick. I'm not really a fan of the Rat Pack stable. I never really book it. I sort of just disintegrate. I do like the Awesomeness Unleashed. I think that's the name, or Unleashed Awesomeness, whatever it is. I do use those guys in a stable, but the Rat Pack, I tend to dissolve that, and I prefer these two to be a team. Again, hopefully they get good chemistry, and I'm going to change Sensitive's gimmick. It's probably a poor name, but Sensitive's gimmick currently is like Hollywood Lackey. I'm going to change it to Mr. Perfection is going to be his new nickname. He obviously just thinks he's God's gift and he's perfect in every way. And Robbie Wright is he calls himself the king of charisma, so charismatic perfection. We'll go with that, and I'll think of a team name. That's not really that important at the minute. So they're going to be a team. Brett Biggins and Oliver Cobb, yeah. Again, I'm not very good at coming up with names, but I tried to think of something fun, because I kind of see Oliver Cobb's like a fun baby face. He's like into his baseball, and being English, I'm not really that knowledgeable about baseball, so it'll be something like the finish is called Swing for the Fences. Again, I think that's a baseball term. And their team name, what is it I've used before? I don't know, I'll think of something. I'll just call them the Home Runners for now. It's terrible, I know, but I don't care. They're not going to be like a big team. They're just going to help get over some lower card guys. And I've got plans to sign Froshua and put him with Robbie Retro. Both of them have good entertainment skills and star quality. Robbie Retro I see as someone who could potentially be like the Crippler. He's had a fun comedy gimmick, but he's got the tools to be a top star. So let's get him in that team, get him up the roster a bit, see how he pans out with his Destiny role. So when I sign him, I'll put him into that team. Probably call them Retro Styling or something like that. That's what I think I'll go with, Retro Styling. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Again, sorry for the terrible tag team names. And then the other one that I add, American Machine and Mass Patriot, because they're both Patriot. They've both got patriotic gimmicks. They're going to be a unit. Patriot Drop and Patriotic Machines. Look at that. Don't know where I come up with these names. Genius. Anyway, they're going to be the teams for now. Again, I'll probably bring in some other wrestlers because I like having a good tag division. We've got a lot of work to do to get these teams over, but I like having a good tag division. Again, stables. Eventually, these will all go their separate ways. I'm going to remove Just and Sensitive, which he'll explain. He's got no role in that, which we'll try and explain within the storyline why he's no longer, or why he's not in there. We'll take him off now, but technically he's still in there, but I don't want to forget to take him out. And then we'll do an angle on the show where he's taken out, and then he'll form this team with Robbie Wright. Right, the other things that you can do, obviously check the creative. We know who our franchise players are. They're our most popular with strong momentum. The next big thing, so great higher flying Hawaiian, Robbie Wright, who we're going to be pushing. I've never had Chill appear in there before. He's quite average at the moment with his skills and whatnot, so we'll see how he does over time. Hot prospects, again, Chill's on there, so high flying Hawaiians in there, it's great. Spencer Spade, Hollywood Bret Start. But this, I've had people in the first week not show up on there, and then other weeks they do eventually show up on there, so take it with a pinch of salt on the first week. And then you can go through the rest of them to find out who are you're going to put on your best matches and who are going to be able to carry others to decent matches. Right, other things that I like to do. I like to have, because we've got 25 million. We've got 30 million. Well, I like to build my own network, which we'll do in a minute. So let's deal with the admin. All you've got to do is upgrade that once to be able to not look weak against the others. And if you want to ramp up that the production values, so yeah, you update your broadcast quality so it's the top one it can be, and so you're competing with USPW. And then if you want to one-up them and upgrade your production values to industry leader, that puts them on the back foot then. It's just something I do, which I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but there we go. And then the only other thing we have to do is Eric Eisen doesn't have a defined role. So if you go to Eric Eisen, some tips that people always ask for anyway in the questions section of the forums. So if you click on these arrows here, so there you can see all their attributes. So obviously Eric Eisen is a selfish performer, and if you click on them it tells you what these means. So this worker is known to hold back on shows that don't matter. Okay, he's not going to be in-ring performer anymore anyway. Popularity, and behind that is their contract. So Eric Eisen only has 2 months left on his contract. It should be fun. As I'm in story, like in the terms of this, I'm Jerry Eisen. I always pick him when I'm SWF because I like to be the owner. But anyway, to set out his roster position, you can tick one of these boxes here. So I'm going to have him as an on-screen personality. He's going to be, he's not going to be on every show. I'd just use him when needed to sort out storylines and whatnot. He's not. I'm not going to have that big authority angle to start off with. It will build up to something. He's just going to appear like every now and then. Obviously, I'll have to use him on pay-per-views somehow because he'll get upset. I don't like having people upset on the roster. Some of you probably enjoy that, but I don't like that. I like everyone to be happy, or as happy as they can be. So there we go. We've done that, and then the other thing we need to do now is give him a gimmick. So if you click on doesn't have a gimmick, we can prepare a gimmick change. He's going to be an authority figure, and I'm sure that was always his old gimmick. So we'll call, he's going to be the Supremacist Authority. He's good at swagger, playing a swagger role, so we'll put it creative, unique, and give him a challenge there. There we go. So we've set his gimmick, and we've set him to have a role. So that we're all good now. We've got more wrestlers than the minimum requirement, so we're happy there. And the only other thing that you probably want to do, so there's a certain lady on the roster who's split up with two guys. Chrissy, there she is. So if we click on her and go to her personal info, so as you can see, she split up with Huey Cannonball in the past, and she split up with Randy Bumful. So she becomes very lonely on the roster, and it builds up over time. So when you go to do a show, there's a thing you can do where you deal with your backstage incidents, and next to it you can meddle with relationships. So I always try and find, so sometimes it happens straight away, sometimes it does take a while, but it's good to try and meddle to try and find her a friendship, so she doesn't constantly have that. Otherwise it could turn and cause it to be a backstage problem. So last save I did with SWF was a while ago, but for some reason I had good luck at getting her and Justin Sensitive to be friends, but we'll see when we go to book that. So that's something I need to remember. I'll probably forget, but I don't remember every show to do it. But yeah, it's good to try, and then that solves another problem that you'll have where it'll pop up here saying she's got a low morale. Right, so on every video I like to book everything on Excel. It's up to you guys how you like to do it, but I always put all the stats onto the Excel sheet. So I just don't like them to be. Hopefully you can see that all right. But yeah, I've got all the stats on there. I've marked out their psychology, their charisma, mic skills, and acting, and then their star quality, and then they've got their overness rounded up on the end. And then on the booking screen, I've got how popular they are. Sometimes I do add them because I generally in this screen quite a lot. I've got out like a basic template for a show, which works out how many minutes that will take up on the show. This is the one I did from the previous video. I'm going to do an hour and a half for the B show. I always get a B show in, which I'll get to. But yeah, it just helps me see who are my top baby faces and the most popular. Also, I add momentum on there, but I don't have it as words because there's 12 different ones going from ice cold all the way up to white hot. So I just number them 1 to 12, and then I'll have that next to them, and then I update that as I go along. I keep that the same for the. So that's my starting one. Then I'll make a February one. So when I go into February, or when I go to change a lot of storylines, I can update the stats and stuff. I don't do it after every show. I do like to update their momentum and their overness though if there's been any changes, and then just resort them. So yeah, there we go. So I'll add momentum on there, and I like to add their star quality and their mic skills. Or a section instead of mic skills, I could have like what they're best rated at an angle. So is it star quality? Is it menace? Is it entertainment, which is I'm sure, or it used to be, is all three. So charisma, mic skills, and acting together to work out how entertaining they are, something like that. So I can put that in there. So when I go to book, I can be like, right, in that angle, I want them rated on this certain factor. But it's always good to, if you're going to rate someone menace, you need to have someone else in the angle who's either based on fighting or entertainment or mic skills, because there need to be something actually happening other than, you can't just have two menacing guys stood there just growling at each other. I don't think that's how the game works, because they're not actually doing anything, they're just sort of stood there. And that doesn't make for a great segment. And it stops people from spamming menace angles. But that's all in the past now. Right then. So anyway, that's just to show you how I set things up. And I can book when I'm on my break at work, or if I usually have these on my phone and whatnot. So if I'm just sat doing nothing, I can do that. So anyway, let's show you how to set up a broadcaster, just in case you didn't know. So we click on broadcasting. No, we don't. That's if we want to check one. We go to investments, that's it. And we're going to launch our own broadcaster. So I just I copy and paste the logo into there because I'm not good at graphics, as you can probably tell from my introduction and thumbnails for YouTube. Anyway, so we want very big in America and Canada, not very small, that could be awkward. Let's see how we do with those. 26 million. Right, I'm happy with that. Can I go a bit high? I know nearly at 30 million. Right, we'll leave it at that. So I'll have like 1.5, 1.4 million left. But usually you make loads of money at the beginning. So it's an internet subscription. So it's like the WWE network, if you're a real world fan. And then these tell you, so basically if your popularity is 70, you want to be looking towards the next one up, but huge is really costly, and enormous is even more costly to have. So we're just going to stick with very big at the minute because we are over 70, but what it's saying is you're more likely to be profitable if you are more popular than what the size is of your coverage. So some of them, like from India up to British Isles, we are like 15. So if you look, tiny would be a good one to start with. But I've gone small, so we're probably not going to make any money there, but it leaves us open for bigger growth. I'm just going to put in something very basic. Launched in January 2020. There we go. So we've launched our broadcaster. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we've got some, like the other areas, we've got some growth in because we want to try and take out USPW. Yeah, we've got 1.4 million left, but it doesn't concern me. And we'll be making plenty money. We've got to add our shows on it. So now you go to broadcasting and view all broadcasters, just write SWF in, there we go, and negotiate. So we want our events on there. Negotiate. We want our TV shows on there. So SWF TV, proposed deal. Right, now I want to go and edit Uprising to become a B show, because currently if you add it, it's an A show. I don't want another A show, I want a B show. So events and TV. We go to SWF Uprising and modify. So we'll change this to a B show, which is an hour and a half long, because I've got plenty of people I want to develop, and some new signings that I want to make. So I'm going to make that on Wednesday. I'm going to have it take one show at a time, and save that. So it's not overly crazy. I'm going to go to my house shows and take them off on a Wednesday. So on Monday there'll be a house show. Tuesday there'll be SWF Supreme TV. Wednesday there'll be Uprising. Thursday there's the chance of pay-per-views. I think it's in the Thursday in the second week, SWF ones. And then Friday will be more house shows. And then everyone's got the weekend off. Right, so we need to add that to our network now. So again, we'll go back to broadcasting. SWF network, we can click it there now. Negotiate, and we want a deal for SWF. uprising. There we go. Luckily, with CANN, they have said that we retain the rights to show footage on our own broadcaster. But if, say, you wanted to add uprising to CAN before you created the broadcaster, they won't let you have the rights. So that's going to be an issue when we have to renegotiate Supreme TV. They might not let us have it on our network, but for now it's fine. Right, so we've done that. Now, if you want to have your development company appear on there, you go to your child company and you go to Own Broadcaster, and then here you can select a deal. So their events will show on your network. Right, the other thing you can do, if I wanted to give them a TV show, so where's schedule? So add new TV show. We'll call it RAPW Elite, and then I'll just give them the SWF Elite because it's WWE NXT. So this is SWF Elite or RAPW Elite, whatever. Again, I'm not good at graphics. I'm not going to edit it. If someone wants to make that for me, that would be brilliant. So I don't have to keep doing it. They're going to have an air show for an hour. That is going to be on a Friday. And because it'll be cheaper for them, I think 4 shows will be Burnout. 3 might be as well. But anyway, they'll tape 3 shows at a time. And then if we go back to our broadcaster, and we can get their TV show. There we go. So we've got RIPW and their events on there. So now, the only other thing to do before the first show, for my benefit anyway, is to bring the people in that I want to bring in. So first thing I want to do is have it to view anyone over 70 popularity in the United States. I want to have them on my shortlist because I'm a nosy sod and there may be people I want to sign. So there we go. Whenever someone's contract's running out, hopefully I should get a notification so that I can at least go into a bidding war for them. The only other thing I do, if anyone's got star quality throughout the world, 85 over, hold on, I want to set it so they, I know you can talk to them and whatnot and bring them to the US, but just people who can work in the US. Brilliant, I'm happy with that. Again, that's just a quick way of doing it. You can just go through every individual roster. But all I'm interested in is competing with USPW and becoming #1 again. That is my goal for this save. So star quality is going to help me do that. So if I can build up a roster of main eventers with really popular main eventers with stronger star quality than them, put on better shows and whatnot, then that is going to help me do that. Now I want to sign some young guns to hire. So let's have a look. So I want for sure. He's got 89 star quality. If you see, he's got 80 charisma, 74 mic skills. He's got a good top row, as in brawling is 72. His psychology is 70. So he's at best at the minute. He could be a mid carder I can build up to, but he's really young. He's only 28. So he's someone I could build up, and he could be a future star. So 10,000 for 5 years. That I know that I've done that many times. That gets him in on a long-term deal. He is someone that I want to bring in. Another one, Davis Wayne Newton. And because I've got that TV deal in our IPW, his overness is low. I haven't got any plans from at the beginning of the Civ because there's other people I want to push up. So he'll go to RIPW for a bit. I know that's criminal because he's quite easy to push up, but I want RIPW to grow, and I want to have some strong, popular, and good workers in there. So let's negotiate 10,000 for 5 years. He's not going to be down there long. He's only going to be down like a part of this year, we'll say. But we'll bring him in too. Is Nicky Gilbert? He's not shown on there. It's probably because he can't. I'll just reset because I know who I want to sign anyway. So there's a guy called Nicky Gilbert. There's two guys from America, from Australia, sorry. There's Nicky Gilbert. Negotiate. I'm going to bring him in for 5 years. He's ready to go now. I'm not going to send him to development. If you look, he's got top row of 74 in technical and 71 in brawling. Psychology 82. He's already experienced enough to put him in. He could call matches in the ring. He could carry guys to better matches than they could get with people of a similar standard, because he's got that 82. He's got decent charisma and mic skills that can, because he's only 30, that could go up. He's got 92 star quality, so he's going to be brought in as a babyface future star because we have a lot of heels on our roster. Another one I'm bringing in from Australia. They've got a lot of good talent, but I don't want too many for the purposes of the early save. Is Will Beaumont. We're going to bring him in on a 5-year deal, but I'm going to tell him that it will be exclusively to develop him. I can't find the one that'd be whatever is needed. Extensively to develop him, and we'll send him to RIPW. Nelson Callum. Again, he's ready. I know he's got soft drug problems, so we'll have a word with him when he first comes in. He's got 78 brawler and 76 technical, 82 psychology. Again, he's got workable charisma and mic skills that we can put him in lots of angles and get him talking, and interact with some of the top stars to try and get him over. So we're going to bring him in as well. Exclusive written. 10,000, 5 years. Boom. Right. There are two experienced workers. Again, they're in time decline, but that have got good popularity and are decent enough workers. Look, he's got 92 psychology. So he's going to be brought in as a gatekeeper to help get over some of the younger guys that I want. So I'm only going to give him a year deal. Let's drop that a bit. Okay, we'd events in here, yeah. So he's 21,800. There we go. So again, both the guys, I'm not paying them extra just so they can work B shows. You get more chance of people getting better popularity boosts on your main show because you're going to get more viewers on it than on your B show. So Chris Caulfield and Frederic, who used to work for, we're bringing him back in. He used to work for SWF on a 1-year deal. Let's see if he'll take 22,000. Again, I don't know if I actually put that in Caulfield. So he's going to be a gatekeeper. 25. There we go. I could have dropped his merchandise and whatnot, but I'm not bothered. He's not going to get much merchandise. There we go. So those are the current crop. Obviously, there are other youngsters out there that I want to bring in, but that's just to give you an outline of people who are available. So there's some young guys in there. There's some experienced talent to sit in our mid card and help get some of the younger guys over. And I think we'll leave it there for now. We'll redo the booking video again to go over everything we've gone over today, and hopefully that'll have better audio on. So I hope you found this useful. If you're new to the game, or if you sort of struggle with booking sports entertainment companies, well, we'll find out after the next video anyway. But please like, subscribe, watch some of my other videos. I'll add those on there now, so they should pop up. So there'll be some WWE, AEW, and TCW I've done as well. Hopefully I'll be bringing some more content soon. New Japan is another one that I want to do, and USPW, and some of the Cornelverse Japanese promotions. I do find them, I don't know why, I do find them easier to promote and book, because they've got such talented rosters, and they're not they don't have to have storylines so much. So that you just build matches on tours. It's quite, or it was on the previous game. I've not really dived into it, but we'll go through that together soon. So look out for the next video, and we'll actually book the first show, and we'll hopefully not get any penalties for storylines or for going outside of what our product needs. So I'll catch you down the road, guys. Speak to you later. Bye.